All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hmm. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. For those who joined. All right. So, yeah, it's good to be back, and thanks for joining me. Decided to log in a little early today, and spend some time with you guys, setting up my chart, and before the market opens. Yes, so those who are joining, yeah, I've been busy. I've been very busy these last couple days, and finally got a chance to kind of settle down and uh, work out a couple things on what I wanted to do with the channel. Yeah, I wanted to end the 500-day uh, videos just because I just felt like there were so many videos out there already, and um, though it was like kind of growing in terms of views, I just personally just um, yeah, I just felt like something new would be better, and um, yeah, and hopefully you guys would agree. As always, anything that I do in this video, do not copy. Trade. I'm not giving you any advice in my trading, so trade at your own risk. Just look at the chart right now. I just have this major channel created from this pivot low to this pivot low, and along this channel you can see as I made it from this pivot low to this pivot low, and using this pivot high, we got a nice profit target area where the institutions took their profits. And this profit target was created with previous information, so that's how you know it's useful. Any chart created with hindsight bias is completely useless in my opinion. Only technical analysis that helps you give forward-looking information is helpful. And so that's what we got here. We got, once it hit the top of this channel, we see it come back to the 50% level of the channel, and now starting to find some support here. And yeah, if you guys enjoy any of this content or want to know more, oh, by the way, is the music okay? Let me know if the music's not loud enough or too loud. Market opens can be in about 10 minutes, and so yeah, so I'm excited to start this new journey, and yeah, and see where it takes us. I think it'll be beneficial for everyone, including myself. Let's see here. Yeah, it's gonna be yeah. I want the music to be just background. Hopefully, it's not too loud. All right, good. Yeah, cause I'm lowering it also beyond what I have it, so it's just not too loud for you guys. Let me try this. Incredible. Yeah, so I wanted to begin. I guess there's a lot of things to update on, but I wanted to do some more live streaming. I wanted to connect with you all, and um, yeah, on this channel, we like to trade purely price action, and I think I just like to, you know, before anything starts, there seems to be a growing community of streamers trading, and so I think one that I really do enjoy that I started watching on my break, while I took a break, was Trades by Matt. He doesn't use price action like we do, but you might be interested in his style. Of course, I like to promote price action and more specifically the two-legged pullback in key areas. And so when we try to scalp, we try to find the most high probability trades. And so from trading and from history, we know that the two-legged pullback is, in my opinion, the highest probable trade that you can take if you set up your trade correctly. So, but yeah, check out Trades by Matt. I asked him a couple questions on streaming. I'm new to streaming personally, and they have all these like neat little tools and tricks and stuff that I am not familiar with at all. And so, he was kind enough to give me some advice. So, I told him I'll send some people over to his stream if people watch mine. And so, yeah, check him out. He's a cool dude. And and he trades live, and you can see his trades, and yeah, so go over there and give him some support as well. I think growing the community of streamers of trading is it's a good thing for everyone, and so yep. And yeah, I'm gonna get used to this. So there's gonna be a lot of, it might be a little bumpy road in the beginning. Um, And yeah, so if you have questions about what the two-leg pullback is, I have playlists in my description. It should be in the description, and go in detail what it is. But really, it's just a pattern that looks like this. So two-legged pullback, you have one pullback. So typically there is some sort of trend. It doesn't always have to be like this. You can have two-legged pullbacks not in trends, but just to make the example very clear, you say you have a trend going down, then you have two legs going up. This is what we call a two-legged pullback. One leg going, one pullback, and then we call this a first entry, and then another pullback, and we like to enter after the two-leg pullback has completed. And so this is a setup we like to look for. So it's gonna create some noise on the chart. Get rid of that. But yeah, it's been a while since I've streamed. I did trade on my break, and uh, yeah, I think yeah. So while I was on my break, I traded, and it's been a while since I traded a 5K account, and for me, a small account is 5K. And when I wanted to do this, I wanted to first name this small account challenge, but I'm changing it now to the small account journey. The reason being is because I think if I'm thinking to benefit the community, I don't think it benefits the community at all to say, hey, let's start with like $100 and make it into 100,000 or 10,000, whatever crazy number. Because typically when people trade like that, it's not long-term trading. They have to get lucky. You have to get lucky if you want to do a trade like that. So they take ridiculous risk, and that's the only way to have accounts that go from like 100 to like 10,000. So I wanted to relabel this as a journey because I don't want to give people the false impression that um, that yeah, that you can trade and all of a sudden just 10x your account in however much time, and that's pretty bad you know expectations to have when you trade. And my main focus is always to help the community. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't even post content, stream, whatever. And so, hopefully, you guys can understand. I'm trying to do this to best benefit the community. So it's a journey, not a challenge. And with that being said, I'm actually gonna do a um, account size of $5,000. And you might say that's not a small account. Small account's like $100. And yes, true. But I think if you're really trading, unless you're trying to meme your account, if you really want to trade, I think a $5,000 account is pretty small. I think very small, especially if you're going to trade one ES contract. And so, um, I think in terms of the risk management per trade, when you have an account, you know, and you're going to trade one ES contract, this is not advice, but personally, I like to have 10K probably for every one contract. But because this is a journey and because this is a small account journey, I will be trading. Okay, so market's about to open. There's some volatility hitting the chart right now, but um, I basically what uh, yeah, exactly. It's not about hitting the jackpot, and this is not a lottery system. This is not some sort of million get rich scheme, get fast rich scheme, get rich fast scheme. Something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. But basically, with a 5K account, my risk reward or my risk for my capital is actually very bad still. But I wanted to show that if you do take good trades, that it could be possible. And I in no way recommend to do this because the risk is pretty high. Because if anyone's been following me, I usually do a 1 to 4 risk ratio. And so if I lose one trade, I will lose $200. And that's about how much percentage of that is that in a 5K account? Let me see. I can do quick maths. You're talking about 4% risk on every trade. And so that's pretty terrible. And so that's why I don't recommend to do this, especially if you're new to trading. But because I've been doing this for a while and I'm pretty familiar with the system, I'm going to try to do this with a 5K account. And to be honest, I might fail. I might really fail because money management, risk management, all of that is accounted for when you trade. And so obviously the bigger capital you have, the more you can trade and the more money you can make. And so, yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this with you guys, and I think that's an important thing. I just want to again do with the community, and I'm only trading one contract. And so as you can see, my count is actually above 5,000. That's because I was playing around with one contract with 5,000 on my break, and I just wanted to do a couple trades. And yeah, so I actually tried to withdraw that money, the extra overage on 5K, so I can start clean at 5K. But the ACH takes a little bit of time, so that'll happen later. But yeah, just assume that we're at 5,000 right now. That overage right now, that 586 or whatever will disappear, and we'll start with 5K clean. This is the 2K tick chart. Let me read some of the comments here. Yep, I'll be trading one contract until I start gaining more capital, and then I'll increase my contract size. But even with one contract at 5K is it's pretty risky. I'm very new to futures, been studying for just over a month, so this series should be helpful. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too, and welcome to the Pat fam. In this video, in these videos, in these series, I'll be trading purely price action and trying to read the charts. Okay, market has opened, and so you guys can post questions. I'll try to get to it, but also, by the way, if you become a member to the stream, you can help support this channel. I do this purely free. I don't charge anyone anything, but if you just do decide to support me on this journey, then you can become a member, and there's a couple perks. You know, you have some extra emoticons, some panda emoticons for you guys, and yeah, and you can have like access to the member stuff. You also have you get a badge, a two-legged pullback badge. So hopefully those are little perks for you guys if you do support, you know, so your support doesn't go, you don't come empty-handed after the support. But hopefully the channel itself will be good enough. So this is the 2002K tick chart. For those wondering what tick chart I'm using. So this dash line, let me go over my chart setup. This dash line right here is the last trading day's close, and so it closed right here, and we're just playing around with it. We are trying to break above it, and we failed, and we come back below it, but hard to short right now because you got a trend channel, a trend line here with a channel, and so you can see that this channel is being respected because you have this pivot and this pivot and then this pivot, and you see that when it touched the top of the channel, it reversed, and so you have a respected channel here. Also, you can see on the charts, I'm trading the 2K tick chart. You might see me switch around to a couple other time frames, like the 5-minute or the 10K. I usually use those for context. And also, if you can see this green and red line, this is a trading range indicator that uses price action to detect trading ranges, and the trading range indicator is detecting that we are in a range right now. And I think it does a pretty good job in detecting ranges. It doesn't use, you know, past information or lagged, delayed information like Bollinger Bands, but it actually uses the price action given to you right on the chart, and so this is what you get. And also, you can see all these numbers on my chart. For those who've been following for a while, you know that these numbers is an indicator that counts all legs, and so when it's a dark red or dark green number, that's a two-legged pullback. And so when you get to the bottom of this trading range, you see all these green numbers. These are all two-legged pullbacks on the bottom of this trading range. And then you have dark red numbers at the top of the trading range, which give us a point as well. And so when you use it in conjunction with the trading range indicator and also the two-legged pullback indicator, it happens to be often a very powerful assistance, basically. And in no way, shape, or form do I, you know, think the trading range indicator will, or the two-legged pullback indicator will automatically make you money. To me, it's a tool, and it's like giving someone a hammer and expecting them to have a house. No, you know, it's a tool, right? And the tool is only as good as the one wielding the tool, and so. But I think it's a very helpful tool. You don't have to worry about counting legs. You don't have to worry about finding second entries. And especially things like this, where the second entries are very confusing, right? Where's the second entry here? Very hard to tell, you know, when you see all these candles. But with the indicator, you can easily see it's a dark green number. And not only that, it's also a trap with a magenta box. And so tell me if you just saw this in 5 seconds, can you tell me that right here you have both a two-legged pullback, right? You have a two-legged pullback, A, B, C. And you also have a fail second entry short. Tell me that you can tell that in about, instantaneously. Can you tell that? No, I can't tell that. I do have to pay attention. If I can figure it out sooner or later, but the indicator will tell you automatically right away. Yeah, so this is a brand new experience for me. I never used streaming software like this. I used OBS, but I'm using Streamlabs right now, and we'll see how it goes. And there might be a time I just like end the stream, and you guys know what happened. It's probably because something messed up, and I had to end it. So, but yeah. So what we got here right now, when you read this chart, we hit the top of this trading or this channel. We hit the top of this channel. It was a long road, but we finally got there. And we got there, institutions took their profits. Then it reversed, came down, and we currently are fighting. Well, we had this trend and we broke this trend. And now, after breaking it, typically what happens is there's a retest of the low. But if that doesn't happen, then it just completely reverses and it's just a bear leg in a trading range, a bull leg trading range. And so now we broke this trend line, and typically we expect a test of the bottom. And so what we might see here is a failed breakout, but you also have to remember we did come from a huge, gigantic uptrend here. And this could simply be a bull flag. A bull flag, and now this is continuing the original trend. And we could expect possibly a double top around here, knowing that the traders took their profits in this area. And so we know that there are traders here selling. So this will be a point of interest here. Also helps a lot if you guys, I like to ask a couple questions and, to help the stream out. Typically, interactions on the chat help the algorithm. And so I generally do want to know, but where's everyone from? I like to ask that question. And not only does it give some activity in the chat, especially when it's kind of slow like this, we don't really have a setup right now. Very hard to trade against this trend at the moment. If we're going to trade against this trend, we have to wait for a reversal pattern. And hopefully, if it happens, I'll let you guys know, and I'll try to spell out the reversal pattern for you guys as it develops. But while we wait for a setup, let me know where you guys are from. I'm genuinely interested. Plus, it helps the algorithm. So, yeah, I get people from all over the world, which is awesome. Virginia, East Coast. So you could possibly be working. Got a lot of people from across the pond. Yeah, I'm in the East Coast. I'm in EST as well. So, all right. Egypt, okay. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Awesome. And of course, hit that like button to also help the stream. All right, look at this. We're approaching the top of this trading range, or the double top here, and we're starting to get people who are eager to take their profits. They're saying, hey, I don't think we're going to get here. I'm going to take my profits a little early here. And so let's see what happens with this pullback here. Awesome, man. All over from the world. This is great. One of the benefits of technology and streaming is I get to interact with you guys from all over the world, and it's quite amazing in my opinion. So welcome. Yeah, any questions are welcome, that will fill up any of the time, so don't feel embarrassed or nervous to ask a question. Trust me, any question and anything to just help with dialogue will be beneficial. And so what's Friesland? I don't know what that is. Friesland. This is great, guys. Man, I would not expect someone from Romania joining the chat. South Africa, Malaysia, this is crazy. Yeah. Cat Ponset asks, how long did I paper trade before going live? Well, you can actually look in my channel and search Q&A, and in the Q&A I do answer that question vaguely, but if you want to know more information about my journey here. But basically, before going live, I did several months of paper trading. I had a goal to double my count in paper trading before moving on to live trading, and I was able to double a 20K account in paper trading. I was like, I got this. I'm the man. I know everything is to know about trading. And then I went live, and I blew my account. I didn't obviously start with a $2,000 or 20K account. I started with a $2,000 account. And after I went live, blew my account, I paper traded again, and I wanted to double two accounts. And when I doubled those two accounts, I wanted to make sure to follow the rules as close as possible and be patient. So several months, I would say probably 6 months in total, paper trading. But along with that, studying charts, and also not only paper trading, but like going back and doing simulated trading. So I did paper trading when the market was live, but also I did simulated trading. So that's an awesome question. Uh, Let me read a couple. I just saw. So the Bazadi, you say you take 1 to 4 risk return. How long do these trades typically take from entry to exit? If it's a proper scalp, seconds, but sometimes you get into a trade that's not as good as you thought, and it takes a couple minutes to scalp out. But typically no longer than a couple minutes. Actually, one of the signs that maybe let you know that you are not in a proper scalp or two-legged pullback is the trade takes too long. And so as you guys see, we have this uptrend, and it might be tempting to go short, but we need a reversal pattern. And so we're going to wait for a reversal pattern here. Very hard to trade to go short unless this channel breaks, but we do have enough room in this broad channel. And so if we have a setup near the top here, we possibly could reverse this. Oh, thanks. A little place in Holland. Nice. All right, so Cheyenne Tyrell asked an excellent question here. My bars look different. Do you recommend avoiding the same setups as you if you perhaps show a poor signal bar on my end and a great one on yours? Right off the bat, 100% do not do my trades. Regardless if it's a good setup, regardless if it looks exactly the same, I do not recommend copying me. I have to say that. But for in general, what this person is asking is, if I have a good setup, and the thing is, you have to know that those who are new to tick charts, the charts are developed purely by. So I'm waiting for a setup. I'm waiting when it gets closer to here. I'll be more interested. I might talk less, but while we're waiting for it to hit our key area, right now is nowhere near key area, unless we get this two-legged pullback, a nice little two-legged pullback like this, then I might be interested going long here. So you have to know tick charts. The chart is developed by the actual amount of trades. And let me be clear when I say that. Trades, not amount of contracts that have been traded, but the amount of trades that have been transacted. And so there could be one trade, one transaction with one contract, or they can be a one trade with 10,000 contracts. That will still be one tick. All right, so that's something you need to know about the tick charts. Oh man, okay, so I'm sensing a double top here, especially we got a big wick like this near the top, but I also see a good setup on the uptrend for a two-legged pullback. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the chart here, and we're kind of getting a setup right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of the 9 out of 10 bars here were non-bull bars. I cannot take this long here. I need to actually come down a little further and hit my 20 EMA. So this is a two-legged pullback off the 20 EMA. It's a classic setup that we like to take. And we're on an uptrend. As you can tell, the uptrend is not very strong. It's not, there's not huge bull bars. We have mix of bull bars, bear bars. It's a broad channel. When I say very strong, it's very strong looks like this. When you see this, you're like, man, that is strong. Like almost no chance to get in, no pullbacks. This is very strong, right? This is a tight trading channel. When you see this, this is a broad channel. And so there's two-sided trading going on. There's enough room to make scalps above and below. And so this candle is too small for me. I need this to actually come down here a little bit further, and I'll be interested in this two-legged pullback. But something you need to know about tick charts, yeah. It's by contract. Every transaction counts as one tick. And so every time this thing moves, you see that there's a number here. And every time this number goes down, that's the amount of transactions they have been. Oh, that's pretty close. That's a nice two-legged pullback on the uptrend. Strong push up here. ABC. I wish it touched my 20 EMA. So it triggered the two-legged pullback here. And it could obviously zoom up. But it hasn't yet. In fact, it's a second entry. And also a failed second entry at one spot. And so we saw it spike up a little bit here. I'd like to go a little further down. Good thing I didn't enter this trade because you'd be sweating right now, but you know it could scalp out still. The market's a little confused. Market with the doji now. So if this pushes down and I think goes back up one more time, I'll be interested on the second attempt up here. And so it's insane, but you also have a small little two-legged pullback right here developing within this leg of the two-legged pullback. I like to come down a little bit further. I like to break, at least touch the 20 EMA here. All right, we touched the 20 EMA. I might be interested in a two-legged pullback right here. Trading only one contract, so every point is $50. I have a setup here. I'm setting up my trade. Okay, and so the question and because of that, because the tick chart is made up of transactions, every chart looks different. And so you might not be even seeing this chart that I'm seeing. Your candles might be all different. You might not even got this second entry triggered on your chart. And so what Cheyenne's asking is, you know, if my chart looks different and your chart than my chart, but I took the trade on my chart and the setup looked good, but on his or her chart looks bad, then should I take the same trade? And I will say you got to trade the chart that's in front of you. You cannot trade my chart. And typically, if I do take a trade, hopefully I take it with good context. Good thing you did not enter this trade, and that's exactly why I didn't want to enter that trade, because it didn't hit the key area yet. And so for those who took this two-legged pullback, rest in peace. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to you. You should have waited till hit your key entry point. Now we got a break of this trend. We have a potential reversal pattern here. And so I'll go through the details of a reversal pattern. If you don't know what a reversal pattern is, I will go and recommend to go to Al Brooks' website. And he goes and tells you the 10 best setups. And one of the setups that he has is the reversal pattern, major trend reversal. There are 3 events in a trading major trend reversal. The staging is this. There is a trend made, and the first event is, in the major trend reversal, is there is a break of trend. Once there's a break of trend, the second event is a retest of the high. And the high you can find is the highest point before the break of trend. And so the psychology is that there are traders here. There are traders who bought here. There's traders who bought here. And so now they're all stuck. And when the market comes back up to this spot, it will tend to reverse because they'll exit their trade because they saw the break of trend and they said, please let me get out. And I think what is even better is not only that, is you see this trading range. The trading range indicator showed us that we were in a trading range. And so what the high probability trade was is actually a failed breakout. And so let me continue with this pattern here. So what we're looking for now is a retest of the highs. It might not happen, and if it doesn't happen, then we let it go and we say that's a major trend reversal. Like it's just a failed setup. It just didn't never happen, and no harm done. You know, we just have to wait for the next setup. But this is looking very strong. It looks like most likely it'll touch the bottom of this trading range here. It's gonna come back and retest the bottom. That's what I'm thinking, and I wouldn't be surprised if it bounces right off this green line made by the trading range indicator. So it looks like a little too late. It has gone beyond the 50% of the trading range. So this setup might not even be viable anymore. But typically, if I saw this break, I would have waited for a setup like this. Typically, it's a two-legged pullback, but it's a retest of the highs. You can be brave and enter right here on the second entry, or you can wait for what typically happens is, a second entry, getting this all mixed up, second entry with a lower high. So this leg sometimes looks like this. And this is actually the safer entry, and that's the entry I would personally gone into. But if you're really feeling really confident, you just see this, you're just very convinced that this is a trading range, then you could take this first one and possibly scale in later. All right, so major trend reversal is most likely not even a setup we can look for at this point, unless it flies back up here, but it's pretty far down. It basically went below the 50% of the trading range. Because of that, you're thinking actually now it's probably going to make a measure move of this leg. So measure moves are good, so we can know. Sorry, I'm so focused on the chart. If you're asking questions, just leave them there. I'll try to get to them. But measure moves are good, so you know if you're still in a downtrend, and not only that, when to take your profits and possible reversal point. So this is a measure move. This is the exact same distance right here. And so because of this strong break like this, we could expect this to be a bull flag, right, from this bear trend. And so we can maybe expect the market to come all the way down to here. And yeah, so with that being said, we might want to find a two-legged pullback like this, because we have not made our measure move yet, and these measure moves are magnets. The reason why they're magnets is because typically there's no buyers until the measure move, and there's no sellers covering their position until the measure move. And so the path of least resistance is to the measure moves typically. We could have a two-legged pullback here, and so you have two things going for you. You could never rule out a possible retest of the high here, and so this could trap you up to here. It could, of course, anything can happen, but you also have this two-legged pullback if you think this is a genuine breakdown here, thinking we're hitting the bottom of this trading range. Also possible measure move down here, and this is the 240 SMA also acting as support, coming in line with the bottom of this trading range. And so you have you have confluence of support right here as well. All right, we have a two-legged pullback almost forming here. This is actually technically a two-legged pullback, but it's not close to our key area. So if it does happen, it hurts, but we have to skip it. We have to skip it because we're not there yet. You could count this as a downtrend, first break of the trend, and then retest the bottom here. But even then, I think that's difficult. That's a difficult trade to take. Let me zoom in so you can see a little bit more. The setup that I was looking for is something like this. A two-legged pullback to the 20 EMA, and then we'll come down. You see how strong this bear trend is? You're expecting this bear trend to also be in itself another measure move. And so whenever this pullback ends is where you want to measure it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it matches with this one. But with a strong bear trend like this, you're expecting another leg down. Right? That's what, if you see this, you're like, okay, we're probably going to sell. So, okay, nice. We're getting closer to the setup we like. We want a two-legged pullback setting up. I wonder in the super chat if I have chats. Oh yeah, so here's something. So this is my emoticon. You can have access to it um, if you become a member. That's emoticon for waiting, just waiting around. This is the emoticon for when a setup is happening. It's a wow, exclamation marks. We have our eyes on the chart and we're expecting something to happen. We're waiting for the setup. And so this is my emoticon for those who are waiting for setup. And of course you have this emoticon when you hit your scalp. And this emoticon, these are all custom made. I made these. So they are 100% original. And that last one is when you lose. It's kind of hard to see, but the panda's crying. Because we will lose. I will say that right now. We will lose on this stream. It's inevitable. So check out the membership if you guys want to, yeah, thank you. We got a new panda. Panda. I need that to play every time someone becomes a member, but yeah, enjoy your badge. You have a two-legged pullback badge, as you can see, and also access to the emoticons. So appreciate it. Appreciate becoming a member. And of course, I'll try to respond to your comments if you leave comments with some priority. But no guarantees. I'm a busy man. But one of the perks. So yeah, this is the wow. We're all waiting. We're waiting for this two-legged pullback. Let's see if we get it. As you can see with the indicators of less than 1,000 ticks now on this candle. I need a good signal bar here. Preferably a non-doji signal bar. I hate dojis, and dojis are typically okay. All right. So this is the signal bar right now. It's a pretty bad signal bar, but we are in good context. I might come in with a limit order, so I have enough room to the bottom of here. Let's see if this creates a big wick. If it creates a big wick, then it'd be hard to trade. Because every one of these pullbacks become in themselves a trading range. Okay, I'm gonna have a limit order set up, and I'm gonna have it once it triggers down. I'm gonna try to catch it with a small retracement here. If we lose this, then so be it. But we gotta take the setup. Two-legged pullback. If this pullback here happens to have 4 or 5 bars, then it's a less and less chance that the two-legged pullback will be successful. Okay, so a retest again and a failure to break out again. And by the way, my 1 to 4 risk ratio is typically the max risk I will take on any trade. And so sometimes I'll change my risk. I'll move it to the signal bar, 1 tick above signal bar. Depends on how it's developing and forming. And that's the thing about live trading is you can actually see the bars forming right in front of you, and the movements, the quick movements can affect your decision making. Terrible signal bar if we were to enter here. So gotta skip this. There's no setup at the moment. This could just be a reversal here on the middle of this trading range. And we might come to retest the top here. This might be the market's attempt to retest the top. And imagine if you were stuck here. Imagine if you're stuck up here at the top of this trading range. What your tendency would be is to come out, break even as soon as possible. And so if I go like this, 1 tick above this, you'll see that the middle point is right here. At this middle point, people will come out break even. For those who got stuck up there, they will try to come out break even at this middle point. And you can see at the top of the trading range, created by the trading range indicator, we do have a little wick here, a bounce off of it. This is hard because now it has broken above the 20 EMA with strong bull bars. We do have a reversal bar here, pretty strong reversal bar. And we are at the middle point. Man, it's hard. Should I take this two-legged pullback? It's above the 20 EMA now, closing above the 20 EMA. You're thinking retest the bottom of this. You know, you have this break of trend, retest the bottom of this trading range before really coming up. All right, so you see here, right at the middle point of this tool, this line tool, you can see the midpoint with this dot. I made a horizontal line here. But imagine if you're stuck here. What would you do if you saw this reversal? You will try to double up your position, scale in, and come out break even. And this is exactly why you see resistance here. These traders that are stuck up here just came out break even right there. So you see a little resistance right there. And so now you have a mix and match. You don't have such a strong downtrend. You have uptrend. But between every bull bar, you have a bear bar. The bear bars are obviously not strong enough to break the previous candle's low, but they're mix and match. Again, resistance here. Why? Because these guys came out break even right here. They're all trying to save their accounts. They saw a huge breakdown like this and they said, "Thank you, Lord, for letting me get out. You had mercy on my soul today." Maybe just today, who knows? Today you got lucky and they came out break even. This trend can continue upwards and so be it, but this is why we're seeing dojis here. We're seeing resistance here. Doji bar, I cannot trade this. I hate dojis. I do not trade on dojis. Been burned way too many times on dojis. Hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here with this. By the way, the stream probably will end around 10:30. You know, if we make a trade or not. 10:30, maybe 11 if I'm seeing some good potential good setups, but right now that's all we're seeing. Doji. Again, look where we're at. We're at the break even for those who got stuck here and one tick above this bull bar. Incredible. Look at this. That's incredible. Disgusting. 3 tick movement in 2,000 transactions. Incredible. These are all people coming out of the trade right now. Let me start that playlist for you guys again. Finally got a break. So this is a two-legged pullback. Looks like this. And we are at the break-even point. But dojis, I don't want to trade these dojis. Dojis in of themselves are trading ranges. And so trading ranges is always a 50-50 chance. Break below. I mean, of course, if you're with trend, that leans it a little bit. But the most you get is like 40-60. There is a viable trading strategy using that probability, but we're just trying to scalp here. We want that 90%. Potentially might look for a lower high setup here, but we'll see. We'll see how the candles look. If you're wondering why that reverse right there, that's exactly why I reversed right there. Right? There's no coincidences in trading. Those people came out break even and they said thank you. Even some were able to save on commissions right there. So we do have a reversal. That was a two-legged pullback. As you guys know, the reason why I didn't take it is because we made 2 doji bars, and yeah, I'm not taking a trade after 2 doji bars. Call me a wuss, but I do not care. So let's see here. Let's see if we get a lower high. If we get a lower high setup, I'll be interested in a lower high setup. And it's a second entry lower high setup I'm interested in. So it's A, B, C. Lower high setup at the top of the trading range. Already rejected at the break even. And also rejected at the top of the trading range by this red line. Also rejected by yesterday's or last trading day's close. We got a double top. It'd be nice if we get triggered, but with today's market, who knows? They might not be generous enough to even give us that leg up, but this is a implied two-legged pullback here with a double top. Some people will go short here at the break of the previous candle's low. They'll have us set up here. You know, people will have that with this micro double top right here, especially near a resistance level like that. Now we're getting choppy. So hopefully, even though I don't make a trade, that it'll still be helpful just so you can. This is a story time, right? Just imagine this is a story time, and I'm reading a story to you, and you know, the words on the page are the candles, and so I'm going to try to interpret this as best as possible. So people are definitely going short here. This made a micro double top, and basically missed an opportunity because the market was not generous enough to give us that one tick up, to give us that the second pullback. So because the market didn't give us that second pullback, we can't enter here. But when you look at the direction of the development of these candles, it did make a two-legged pullback. We'll be patient here. Maybe the market will give it to us now. We'll see. My presumption is we're going to hit down here. We're going to try to come down here, but we'll see. Just because we rejected off the resistance, strong breakdown, came back halfway up here, right? That's where people came at break even. What I'm looking for now is a two-legged pullback. I'm always looking for a two-legged pullback, but right now I'm waiting for this second pullback to happen. And the only way it can happen, if you look at, you know, if you want to know how to count legs, check out the playlist in the description. But we got it. We got our second pullback. Let's see if we get a good signal bar here. But you see these wicks here. I don't like those wicks either. Let's see if we get a good signal bar for our second entry short here. Okay, came back to that break even spot again and could not break above it. Let's see if it breaks above it. Okay, it's breaking above it now. So now you're thinking retest of this high here. Retest of this high. Actually, it stopped right at the break even again. Goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Break even again. I don't like this bull bar. I'll have a hard time trading against this bull bar, but because I have not forgotten this strong bull trend before this. This is a double top here. Terrible signal bar at the moment. It's very hard to trade against this kind of signal bar. Context is good, though. I wish I had a better signal bar. So we have our two-legged pullback, double top. Right at resistance. Top of the trading range. Oh boy. Oh boy, I don't know. Oh boy. Double bottom. Do I want this trade? I want to see how this candle finishes. If finishes solid, if it's shaved, I might come in with a small retracement. Okay, it's not shaved. Came with a wick. Came right back up. Pretty bearish. Ooh, I'm interested in this, but I want a deeper retracement here. This is, I'm getting conflicting stories here at the moment. That's hard. I might miss a scalp, but this is the signal bar at the moment. Well, I'll be stopping here. I'll be stopping right here. Man, see this signal bar, if this candle finished like shaved, but because it came wicked like that, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So now you have a two-legged pullback that looks like this. A, B, C. And this could give you a measure move from this bull leg like this. It could give you a measure move like this, which is basically at the top. But yeah, I can't trade this. Disappointing. Big wick below it. Barely enough room to top here. So I don't know if I would even go long here as well. ABC. Break. Retest top. Micro double top here now. This could scalp out right here. Very curious, very interested here. Sitting on my hands. These wicks, man. These wicks are killing me right now. Trading range wicks. If this gives me like a pretty bearish bar, I'll try to get in. But let's see how this bar ends. Basically doji. It's just like, look at the last, couple bars, only 6 tick movements. Proper scalps, they typically finish really quick. So, if you did go short here, again, you're probably sweating. You're probably stressing out. Especially when it starts to look like this. Triple top, micro triple top. Man, this is confusing. If you're confused, it's best just to stay out of the trade. But look at this. The reason why I'm confused, and the reason why I didn't enter the trade is because the market is confused. Right? The market had the same sentiment as I did. They're confused as well. This is why we're seeing movement like this. All right, so you got the reversal here. If this reverses again, I'm in short. Waiting for a double bottom here. I'll be in this trap. Fail second entry long. This tried to go up like this. People tried to go long here, and they didn't realize we need to retest the bottom here or come to the bottom trading range before coming up. I'm ready for this trap trade here. Let's see if we get in. And a proper trap really finishes in a couple seconds. If it's a proper trap. Going back up. All right. It's a good thing you didn't go short there. You made a perfect scalp. Still in this trade, actually. If this fails, I'm actually interested in going short here. Hit the top of the trading range again and rejected it. So I'm thinking we're coming down, but depends on how this candle looks like. I basically put my trade exactly where this would have entered if you went here. So I'm ready for another attempt down if it does. Okay, it failed to break above trading range. It actually made a perfect wick to it, perfect touch. We're watching this. If it breaks above, I'm no longer interested. No longer interested in this. I was actually interested because it was still a perfect scalp, but most likely what we're going to get is that measure move that we have here. So for every trade, there is a bull case and a bear case, and good thing I didn't take this short here. Good thing when I saw that wick, I didn't, good thing we use this as a signal bar. And who wants to go short on a signal bar like this? Good thing we didn't take that trade. Again, breaking above it, but could not close above it. Very interesting movement here. I mean, most likely it'll make this measure move. Okay, here we go. Okay, we went one tick above. Now the high. Still closing beneath it. Still close right at it. At that break-even spot that we marked way back here. Okay, I think we're going to hit this measure move. And in that case, we might actually have a bona fide major trend reversal setting up. So for those who are like, man, you should have gone short right here, perfect, context, downtrend, two-legged pullback. No, you got to read all the price action. The price action is telling us something here. So again, thoughts and prayers to those who went short here. You got to look at your signal bar. For some charts, the signal bar might have looked really good. It might have ended like right here, and that might have been a good scalp. But for my chart, it looked like this, and I did not take it. This is crazy, man. This is not closing above. What's going on? It's been an hour of trading, and all we have been seeing now is basically this market bouncing around. Came down, came back up. Waiting for this measure move to hit. Waiting for a major trend reversal. Long at 1300. I'm not sure what 1300 means. Now we're going to break down. Maybe I should have gone long here. That's pretty good long, but hope you guys could tell why. The trading range is right up here. Last trading day's close is right here. Not enough room to make a scalp. Too many resistances for me, but I think we're going to hit this measure move here. Alright, so let me go read some of your chats. My next move, I might be interested in a setup like this. A two-legged pullback to the measure move. And if I get a good signal bar at this measured move, I'll be very interested because the reason why I think it's going to reverse here rather than break through and make a brand new high. It could make a brand new high, but I think that brand new high will fail as well because of the price action that we've been seeing. This is not indicative of a strong trend. This is more indicative of a trading range. And so trading ranges beget more trading ranges. Something you need to know about the market is that it's very fractal. I can make this a daily chart, and you would not know that this is a daily chart versus a 2000 tick chart or a 5-minute chart. The reason being is because the way the market moves is it moves in a fractal manner. That means you'll see the same patterns in any time frame. They're patterns within the same patterns, and so that's why when you have trading range behavior, right? When you have choppiness like this and going back and forth in the smaller time frames, typically that reflects in the higher time frames. Trading ranges beget trading ranges. Choppiness beget choppiness. And so this is why I feel confident that if we hit up here, it'll be most likely a resistance rather than a point of breaking out. Of course, I could be wrong. And of course, the price action leading up to it could be 10 bull bars in a row. And if that's the case, then you have to reassess. But right now, I just have a couple, premises in my mind, trying to anticipate the next setup. And so if I see something like this, possibly a lower high setup, something like this, then I will be interested in the lower high second entry. But I just have all of these kind of like locked and loaded in my mind to anticipate it. 1 second. Sorry, Mrs. Panda had to give me something. Here we go. So this is my setup, and as this setup starts to form and develop, I'll read some of your questions. So again, if you find this helpful, yeah, slow market, man. Um, oh, that makes sense. 113. Okay, okay. If you find this helpful, like, subscribe. More chat activity, the more exposure this channel gets, more support, the more you can support me. If you really want to support me in this channel, again, I do all this for free, but if you want to support, you can become a member, just $5 a month. You get access to the badge, the two-legged pullback badge, and also these panda emoticons. Yep, this is the 2K chart. 114 point runner. That is very nice. I know it's slow morning, but it's nice to see you live. Thanks. 10,000 tick chart. We're going on the flag of last Friday's bull flag. So that's why that's why it's good to have these higher tick frames. I'll jump to the 10K chart. This is 10K chart, and 10K chart just has a trading range. And, it's actually forming a flag, I think, at this point, some sort of triangle. But the trading range indicators recognizing the trading range here. And the 10K chart just looks like this. So if the 10K chart has a successful breakout, it will have a measure move that looks something like this. It'll come all the way up here, and that's what you're expecting. So 10K chart looks like this. I like to use this 5-minute chart. It's a good way to see the time. And oh boy, look at this. On the 5-minute chart, it hit the 240 SMA. And that would have been good context to actually go long. So if I was, cognizant of this, you see how it spikes down and guess what? Taps the bottom of the trading range, right? Goes beyond it by only 1 tick, and it reverses. And when it reverses, has a higher low setup. And that higher low setup will probably be a good trade if you're on a 5-minute chart. So having multiple charts give you not only context, but also more opportunities to trade a two-legged pullback. You can trade each chart individually as well. So this is 10K, going back to the 2K. I'm trying to be exclusive to the 2K chart, and trying to essentially use the 2K chart to gather as all the information that that I need. But it's good to have those, just for reference as well. So we have this two-legged pullback forming. Actually, a two-legged pullback hit already, but not at my key area, so not interested. Could be something like this forming here for test of a double top. May be interested in that. But again, dojis are forming, making this slowest market ever. I'm trading only one contract. I'm trading a 5K account, and so one contract is actually, even with one contract, 5K account is pretty risky still. The indicator will tell you, well, if you're, I have two basically custom indicators that we have at tweleggedpullback.com. It's the two-legged pullback indicator, which is all the numbers above and below the candles. Trading range indicator, which are these lines. And it tells you there's a second entry or two-legged pullback fully formed. And there's a dark green or dark red number. There's dark green and dark red numbers. That means that's a second entry. But that only tells, if you look at the chart, gives you the previous second entries. But with indicator, it tells you also the upcoming leg. So we know that if this candle breaks the previous candle's high, which is where the diamond is, right? The diamond is where it's placed exactly where the entry should be. If it hits this, then we know that this is actually going to be a trap of this two-legged pullback. And so for those who can't count yet, do not know how to count, here's a two-legged pullback for us. We have a first pullback, first entry, second pullback, and typically people like to enter here and go short. But as of it is right now, if this reverses and breaks the previous candle's high, this actually becomes a trap. So this is why we have a magenta box and the super signal. I call this a super signal because it tells you all the information you need about the next leg in terms of leg counting. And so we're getting some pullback here. Could be a failed breakout again, and this could be just a higher low setup. And man, zooms down. This is a hard market to trade at the moment. People wonder why the 50% mark is so important. Well, that's because people come out break even at the 50% marks. So those who went short and you were here are now out to break even with this candle. You're thinking with this kind of price action, we're going to hit this measure move. So that's what I'm anticipating, but it might not happen. And if it starts to reverse here, then we have to trade according to what the market gives us. That's a pretty strong bear bar at the top of the trading range. And this could zoom down to the bottom of this trading range now. This could have been the reversal that people were waiting for actually finally happening. We were finding some support right here where all of these bodies are. Again, it could be people not only coming out break even here, but they're coming out with some profit. Yes, so Geneva versus Rome, truth versus lies. Yes, that's what it is. It's a long name. So the indicator helps because you can just focus on the context, right? I can just see and do all my charting and say, okay, the double top, major trend reversal. It's just a second entry. I don't have to go back and count all my legs. I'll have it all counted out for me and marked and ready to go. Very interesting. This is a two-legged pullback on the 5-minute chart. Two-legged pullback here happening in the bottom of this trading range. Right, if you mark the 10K chart, essentially we're in something like this, right? Triangle forming. Unfortunately, cannot take this trade. I think that's a good trade to take, to be honest, if I were just trading without waiting for two-legged pullbacks. Not a bad trade. My setup now, I have to wait for a two-legged pullback, A, B, C. My setup like this. Let's see if we get it. We just lost our two-legged pullback. This price action's making me think we are in a downtrend now. But because the market's so choppy, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a wedge here and this reverses. So this is what the choppy markets give us, like very mixed signals, very hard to trade. And there's always a bull and bear case on every trade. And it's just more so in these trading ranges. That's why trading ranges form, because you have all these mixed technicals. Until the market really knows where it wants to go, it'd be hard to really trade it to like a pullback. But we can use that to our advantage. If the market is confused, maybe we can trade a second entry off a trading range. Bottom of this trading range is this green line. So simple, right? This trend line has to break if we want to go short. We're at a critical key area now. Wedge plus test of this trading range. Just broke below it. Most likely failed breakdown, but we'll see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bear bars in a row. Let's see if this is a bear bar. I might spoke too soon. Let's see if this is a bear bar. You see right at the wedge plus the test of this trend line, plus coming close to the 240 SMA. We're finding some support, but I'm not trading counter to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bear bars in a row. It's not my style to trade long here, plus not enough room to scalp out with the 20 EMA in the way. And this is what you get. You get expansion and expansion, right? You broke the highs and you also broke the lows, and so you have this expanding triangle in here. If this double bottoms or something, then I might be interested, but very hard to trade long there. You know, you have to be very gutsy to go long there, in my opinion. You see 7 bear bars in a row and you decide to go long on the first reversal. Very scary if you're to do that. Again, if you want to support, you can become a member, $5 a month. You know, you can cancel it whenever you want. But you know, if you're planning to support anyways, you also get these emoticons. That's emoticons, and also you get a badge, the two-legged pullback badge. Those who went long here are sweating, you know. But if we do get some setup like this, right? So now we got double. So we got a couple things going for us. So we have this double bottom here, bounce off perfectly. If we get a higher low setup here, I'll be interested. A, B, C, higher low second entry setup. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it closer. But we have a higher low second entry setup potentially here, and off the wedge, and also off this uptrend here. But also we have this trading range where it typically acts as magnets, and so you just got a lot of conflicting things. In my opinion, I think this would be a measure move. Like, you know, you're expecting a measure move now, something like this. You're expecting to hit the bottom of this, in my opinion. I actually do not want to go long here. Very scared to go long here. Wedges have a pretty high probability to give you a scalp. Probably 70% chance to scalp out for you on the wedge. No trades at the moment, and hopefully you guys can understand why. The market's been very confusing. I think what's helpful is that, you know, when you have the trading range indicator, the fact that you're in this trading range all day just shows that, yeah, man, it's going to be choppy. We got 2 dojis in a row. No, I cannot go long here. I'll be more interested in going short here. I didn't think this could happen, but you have a two-legged pullback like this. It's a lot of price action in a very small period of time. Let's see, we are on the bigger time frames. We're on the 240 SMA again on the 5-minute. At the bottom here of the 10K. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, this 10K is testing this and also bottom of this trading range, this could be a failed breakdown. And yeah, it'd be a very good long here actually if you're ready to go long, I think, in my opinion. Just have a two-legged pullback, classic two-legged pullback here on the 10K chart. So we got mixed signals everywhere at the moment. Market over bottom. I'll just mark this. Too much noise on the chart right now. Too many lines. Gonna get rid of this, but just know that we have a two-legged pullback potentially setting up here. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bear bars in a row. 10 bear bars in a row. You're not looking to go long here. Watching right now, watching. Yep, exactly why you don't go long. Double bottom here now. Breaking down. Probably gonna test the bottom of this trading range. A wedge breaking down like this. Yeah, I'm actually gonna try to do more streams. That's a good question. Let me see if I miss any questions here. Yep. Trade the chart that you are given. Don't trade my chart. Is this stream gonna be daily? Yeah, so for those who took this trap, good job. You can express that you made a good trade, successful trade with this emoticon. It's my win emoticon. It's my raining money panda emoticon. So those who traded that trap, congratulations. But I was not in that trap because I saw this wedge. I saw this trend line, and I saw we're close to support here. But most likely measure move. Look at how many bear bars you have in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyone who went long here, again, thoughts and prayers. You have how many bear bars in a row at this point? You have to see this and realize this is actually a very strong breakdown. But notice we're also in a trading range. So it's a strong breakdown. It could be simply a bear leg in a trading range. And typically these bear legs and bull legs are very strong in trading ranges. And that's what trips up a lot of traders because they see this like very strong trend, but then they don't realize the market cycle they're in. And they're saying this trend is going to go on forever. And so they try to short on like a pullback, but now recognizing that, yeah, we're hitting right at the bottom of the trading range off support to bounce off and potentially reverse, and they get, they stopped out. So yeah, all charts will look different because tick charts look different because they're formed based on transactions, and there's many factors. There's a lot of reasons I've heard. It could be how many bars you look back, the clock, setting on your computer. Just a lot of things that, if we get an H4 here, I'll be very interested, but I don't think we're going to get H4 here. Terrible signal bar, but not bad context. Fail breakdown, also 240 SMA. And so very hard to trade that with that kind of signal bar though. So, I don't even feel bad missing this because it's like, how would I have known to go along here, with a signal bar like this? I wouldn't. So you skip it and you don't even feel bad about it. Yep, closed beneath the 240 SMA on a 2K chart. How long has that been? Jeez, hasn't been since here. August or April 9th. A couple days ago, 240. H4 failure, I'll be interested in trading. H4 failure is two-legged pullbacks in a row. A, B, C. That's one two-legged pullback. A, B, C. And if we're close to my target, my key area, which is the bottom of this trading range, I'll be interested in the H4 failure. How do I know it's H4 failure? Because you have a 4 with a trap here ready to trigger. When that triggers, that next reversal is an H4 failure in a trading range. And so that's why I'd be interested. Let's see if we get it. I'm watching now, so I'm gonna throw up my emoticon. Gotta use what you have. So I got my emoticon, my watching emoticon. Only until they're relevant, really. You know, it still affects the chart. Very close to H4 failure. I'm going to get rid of these so we can see more clearly. We have an H4 failure. Come down to my key area, and I'll be ready for a reversal here. But I need to come down here. It's not close enough. Maybe H4 failure on the 240 SMA might be good enough for me. But I would really want it to hit this green line, bottom of the trading range. But I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't know if the market's going to be generous enough. These typically act as magnets, and so like when you go up here, it might just reverse and magnet down straight to the trading range. All right, seriously watching here. Gonna prime up my order. You see that it's bouncing here. People are taking their profits. People are taking their profits. H4 failure setting up. Give it to me. H4 failure setting up here. I hope it's not a doji. H4 failure. Waiting. Okay, hit the bottom of the trading range. Reversing off of it. It's a very bad signal bar. Oh, but I kind of want to trade it still. I'll come in with a retracement because I like the context a lot. Come in with a small retracement here if we can. So if you just put the limit order right at the bottom of the trading range, you would have been scalped out already. Coming with the retracement here, H4 failure. I'm in this trade. So now we're waiting to get scalped out here. Only one contract. If we come down further, I might potentially scale in. H4 failure. Going long at H4 failure in the bottom trading range. Acting as support. You know, that's not a candle you want to see if you're in a scalp. Yeah, sure. Let me let this trade happen. Actually, I'll just let this run because I'm just running one scalp now, one contract. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, I'm out. No managing runners, so I'll answer some questions while this plays out. Let's see what happens here. But my journey, I'm just gonna trade with you guys in the morning. I'm gonna try to do more live streaming, and I'm gonna say it's more of a journey than a challenge because I think challenge, you know, it's just for me to trade with you guys and see how much we can grow a 5K account on the E-mini scalping, and that's basically what the journey is. A journey with you guys, a journey with the community. I'm just watching this. I want to see the scalp out here. As always, I'm always happy when it does scalp out. And let's see if we get a scalp here. One tick away from our scalp. I got a meme for this. If we get this, it's touching my target. Come on, fill me. Fill me. Fill me. Ooh. It's teasing me right now. Fill me. Fill me. Come on. I know you want to fill me. Don't do that. There we go. Let's go, baby. All right. Okay. There we go. There's my first scalp. H4 failure, bottom of the trading range. You know, this trading range indicator, I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold. It had the trading range way back here. Gave it to us again when we came back. Even we saw this super strong bear trend. We knew with the H4 failure right at the support, we were ready to scalp out. It's 2K chart. My stop is 4 ticks, so it's 1 to 4. From as long as I remember, I was born a panda, so yeah. So the small accounts, really, I just want to trade with you guys again, and yeah, and let's just walk together and see this journey and see how much we can make. How much can we grow this 5K account? And yeah, and I would love to do it with the community here. There's actually another setup that I would love here, a higher low setup. And it's a setup that looks like this. We might lose it if it breaks above here. Okay, we lost our higher low setup. But yeah, I don't know if I really have a goal in mind. My goal is infinity, I guess. As this account grows, this could take several months to grow, but as the account grows, you know, I'll essentially, yeah, increase my contracts. And so if you look at it, I already made 1% today. You know, $50 per contract, so I made 1% on my account. And you know, with a savings account, that would have taken 1 year almost to make, you know, $50. This is not my full-time income, and I probably will have to go soon. So these green lines and this red line is drawn automatically by the trading range indicator. If you want to know more information about that, check out the website at www.twoleggedpullback.com. Thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Again, I do this all for free, but hey, if you guys want to support me, might as well become a member. Might as well, you know, if you're gonna donate anyways and want to support this channel, might as well become a member. Get the small perks, get the emoticons, and throw a emoticon for us if you're a new member. You also get the two-legged pullback badge, as you can see, and yep, H4 setup Albrooks in the key area. Gotta hold my head still for the match. All right, okay. Next time I'll do that. Make sure. Hey, can you guys let me know the volume? I don't know how loud those like memes are. How do you make the green line bigger? At this moment you can't, but that'll be a future enhancement, I think. It's hard to recommend a tick count, but I would say whatever mimics closest to ES. If you look at my channel and search overlay, you can actually trade a 2000 tick chart of the ES overlaid on top of your MES account. So you'd be taking the exposure of MES, but the price action of ES. And so check out the channel and you can search overlay and you'll find how to set that up. All right. All right, guys. I do have to leave. You know, this is not going to be my only stream. You know, hopefully I can stream more with you guys, and it's been a pleasure. And thanks for joining. And hey, spread the word. Put a comment. You know, support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't. If you really want to help, you can become a member. And also, if you are interested in these indicators that I have, on my chart. I really would not talk about these indicators, nor would I have it on my chart unless I found it to be helpful for my own trading. If it just provided noise, I would take them off. Anything that gives you noise, I don't like to have. And so I really believe in this indicator. I really believe that it's helpful for me. So check out the website at www.twoleggedpullback.com. You can find both of these indicators there. But that being said, thanks guys for joining me. Subscribe. I'll try to be on again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Again, check out Trades by Matt, also a streamer. I like to see this streaming community grow. That'd be great. So we're not doing this alone. And yep, have a great rest of your day. And as always,